Speedography exercise 91 80 word per minute. Sir, let us first ask the question as to who is the consumer. The consumer is the buyer of goods for a consideration, or he is a hirer of services for a consideration. We must understand that anywhere in the world and in any economy, it is the consumer who matters. But it is very unfortunate that the importance of the consumers has not been taken seriously, especially in our country. In the last so many years, it was the Prime Minister who understood with his foresight that it is finally the consumers who matter. It was for this reason that in 1996 he brought forward this bill for consumers protection. This was enacted in the interests of the consumers, and for that consumer councils had to be set up all over the country for the settlement of consumer disputes. But what had happened in the first 2 years? 40 districts were covered out of 455, but after that, after the change of government, there was no further effort. In fact, the consumers had to move the Supreme Court, which directed the setting up of the councils. Within 6 weeks, this was 2 years ago, but the progress is very slow. Through they took a decision regarding the order under Section 2. The state governments have defaulted. Only half of the districts have been covered so far. What I would like to stress is it is not just a question of enacting a law. It is a question of implementing that law. Are our officers, are our manufacturers inspired enough to accept this kind of thing? Are they inspired enough to look to the interests of the consumers? It is for this reason we have to see to the protection of the interests of the consumers. How do we save our consumers from adulteration? How do we save our consumers from monopolists? Of course, there is red tapeism in the government which also comes in the way. How do we save our consumers from red tapeism? Now, when we talk about consumer councils, I think many members of parliament do not even know that there are these consumer councils. The process is so cumbersome that it is not really worthwhile to go to the consumer councils. The harassment is so much that the consumer councils, to the fact that It is better to keep quiet.